What's good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a quick breakdown of Nikola Mirotic getting traded to the New Orleans Pelicans. First, let's talk about the deal. The Pelicans are sending a 2018 protected first-round pick with center Omer Ashik, Tony Allen, and Jameer Nelson to the Bulls for Nikola Mirotic, who will be getting 12.5 million because he had a team option to extend his season with the Bulls. And once he opted in, once they exercised the team option, he was able to stay another year at the $12 million mark, which means that they will have him for another season, which is the Pelicans, because he had to do that before they was able to trade him. Obviously, going back to the problem, him and Bobby Portis got into a fight. He demanded a trade. Plus, he really wasn't happy with the Bulls anyway because of his role. And the Bobby Portis fight only escalated him wanting to leave even quicker. And now that he has left, he has gone to a team where they need a lot of talent. They need stretch fours. They need guys that can play multiple positions because Boogie is down. The only problem with this trade I have for the Pelicans, they gave up some solid players for one player, which is Tony Allen. Jameer, they was having okay seasons, but you need as many bodies as you can get. But the thing about it that I heard was that they supposed to be trying to get Greg Monroe to come down to New Orleans too. So if they can get Nico and Greg Monroe, those two people that can come in, play their role, play their positions, or play multiple positions, but at the same time they can score in. That's the most important thing. Anthony Davis gonna need help putting the ball in the basket because you can't replace Boogie. Can give you from 20 to 40 to 50 every night, plus a couple of rebounds. It's gonna be hard to replace that. Plus, they really wasn't that great, even with Boogie barely holding on to a playoff spot, and just now went on a win streak. As soon as they go on a win streak, Boogie's goes down. Nikola is obviously having the best season of his career. He's shooting the same shots that he usually shoot, but they're going in, and that's the biggest difference. Is as soon as he was in his contract year, all of a sudden he played harder, he played with more energy, he took better shots, even though he still take tough shots. He's averaging a career high in points. He's averaging a career high in field goal and 3-point percentage. He's averaging a career high in free throw percentage, a career high in rebounding, a career high in assists. And it's funny that as soon as he's about to get paid, he's having a career high year, and he was coming off the bench majority of that time. But they do need Mirotic if they finish this trade, because Mirotic can open that floor up for Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis likes to stay around that mid-range area. He likes to post up. He likes using those one-hand flick floaters around the basket. And with DeMarcus Cousins leaving, they're going to have to play some weird lineups just to have a team that can score out on there. And having a player like Mirotic that can play the 4 and sometimes the 3, because he has the size and the quickness to do it. He's not the most athletic player, but he can still. He's not even known for defense either. But at this point, you need some type of help. And I feel like the Pelicans making this move means that they're still trying to stay in a playoff race, and they're still trying to win games. Just because DeMarcus Cousins went down doesn't mean they're going to give up on the season. Obviously, Anthony Davis led this team to the playoffs before, even though it was because of a tiebreaker with the Thunder. They looks like they're committed to giving Anthony Davis whatever he needs, as long as they can get the player to come to New Orleans. And they're going to continue to do this for years, because at the end of the day, Anthony Davis is a once-in-a-generational player. He's a two-way player at that. He can score in a multitude and has a lot of weapons in his repertoire. When it comes to scoring the basketball, when it comes to versatility, he can play the 4 or the 5. He's an excellent rotating defender. He's an excellent help defender. And we all know he's a great shot blocker. But he uses so much energy scoring and playing defense and fighting down there in the block, grabbing rebounds. And that's going to be the problem, is he has a huge workload. No wonder why he's always injured, because him and DeMar have to do so much. But with the outside shooting and the versatility of Mirotic, a guy that can put the ball on the floor even from the 3-point line, and he can pass out of drives. If he drives, he passes. He's a team player sometimes. He does make the extra pass. He does get hockey assists. And that's something they're going to need there in New Orleans. Now, um, I don't really have much to say other than that. I just feel like Mirotic is a guy that wants to prove himself. He's a guy that wants to be a star. He's a guy that wants to be potentially an all-star. It's going to be very difficult if he does stay with the Pelicans because there's a lot of good forwards in the West. So his chance of making the all-star team was better in the East than it was in the West. And at the end of the day, that's something that he's going to have to remember when he signs his extension in a couple years if he's going to get a chance to have a starting role on another team, that even if it's not the Pelicans, he has to have a chance to increase his brand and go into an all-star game, playing at an all-star level. You get a lot of marketing, you get a lot of commercials, you get a lot of time because people care about somebody that's at the top of the craft. So at the end of the day, I like this trade for both teams is because not the Pelicans, the Bulls are obviously going in a different direction. They needed a first round pick. Um, I think they're going to let Mirotic go because he's only owed $10 million a season, and he has another season. Um, in 2019, he's owed 11.2 million. Obviously, he has 3 million guaranteed money in 2019. Um, the Bulls gonna definitely get rid of Tony Allen and Jameer Nelson because they don't need veterans at this point. Obviously, you would like to see them keep veterans. Obviously, you would like to see them keep guys that can come in and win. That's why Alvin Gentry picked up Tony Allen. That's why Alvin Gentry picked up Jameer Nelson out of all the point guards because these guys know how to win. These guys are professionals. These guys are people that knows their role, and they're not trying to be bigger than that. They're just coming in trying to stay in the NBA as long as possible and teach the young players how to win and go out there and play the role that they're given. So I can definitely see them buying out um, Tony Allen and Jameer Nelson, the Bulls, because they don't really need it. They need more salary cap to take on more contracts. The more contracts they can take, the more they can add a pick. If it's an aspiring deal, they might not be able to do it. But I know if they're gonna, if they really trying to rebuild this team, which I'm talking about the Bulls, they're gonna need to be able to take contracts in to get picks. A lot of bad contracts, like you seen with the Nets taking DeMarre Carroll and Mozgov. You take those type of players so that way they can give you a pick. Just like when they got rid of Omer Asik in this trade, obviously the Bulls don't give a damn about Omer Asik. But since they had to add that first round pick to take that contract, I can see the Bulls continually doing this throughout the season, taking okay to decent contracts off people's hands because you have the salary cap, and then taking second and first round pick, even if it's later in the draft, even if it's a late second round pick, take as many picks as you can so you can have as many hits um, at the draft. The more draft picks you have, the more chances you have of hitting a superstar, the more chances you have of hitting multiple superstars that can be born in the draft. And not only that, the more assets you have. This is a team that has Zach LaVine. He's been playing good. Chris Dunn, Laurie Marketing, and guys like that. And Denzel Valentine. They have good veterans. Bobby Portis, and obviously Mirotic was another one. Obviously, having those type of young players that can actually play, and you have the draft picks on top of that, that makes it easier to accumulate more talent because you have players that can play in their young, and you can always add draft picks which can help you get superstars too, something that we all know. But I just want to let the Bulls fans know you might not be keeping Tony Allen, you might not be keeping Jameer Nelson, but getting Omer Asik contract allowed you to get a first round pick, and that's important. Now I want to see if they're going to continue to do it throughout the trade deadline, absorbing bad contracts to get picks. Obviously, the Bulls will waive Quincy Pondexter too to clear the cap space. And Mirotic signed a 2-year deal with the Bulls in August. And with the team option, he'll be with the Pelicans next year too if they want to keep him. So, so this is an obvious rental. Let's see how good Mirotic can be for us. Let's see if he's a guy that we like. If he's a guy we want to keep around. Is he a guy that's going to continue to improve? And is obviously another way that, oh, DeMarcus Cousins is gone for a year. Let's get another piece that can fit with Anthony Davis, so we can still have a chance to make the playoffs, which is important to keeping a team, a franchise player happy. The coach and the players want to win. The organization does whatever they have to do to keep the team relevant. And, even if that's rebuilding, even if that's building through the draft like the Bulls are doing, obviously you wanted to get as many things done as possible. And now with Mirotic, they're going to have another player that can complement Davis. And you got another year of him. If you don't like him, his contract is up next year. If you do like him, you can give him the longest contract, because you can offer him 5 years, because you have his bird right after next season. So even if they don't like Mirotic, you just let him go, or you can trade him for a pick. Or if you do like Mirotic, you can always give him that 5th year that other teams can't offer after next season. So let me know what you guys think about Mirotic. Is he a star? Can he be a star? Can he be an all-star? Do he fit with Anthony Davis? Is this a good pickup for the Pelicans? Is it a bust pickup? Is he just playing well because his contract is almost up? Or is he playing well because he just wanted to show that he has value still in this league? And for the Bulls, they get a first-round pick, and they get salary dumps, which can help them get free agents and absorb more contracts. So that way they can get more picks and assets in the future, so they can trade them for superstars or just draft players and develop them into superstars. So it's a win-win for both teams. I'm not going to say it's 50-50, but I see why the Bulls did it, and I see why the Pelicans did it, and we won't really know who wins this trade until probably 2-3 years after, and after we see who they pick with the draft pick. So let me know what you guys think. Quinn Wade Basketball Knowledge signing out, and I'm gone.